In today's episode, we are going to talk about what options you have if you have outgrown your sole proprietorship. In other words, what do you need to do if you want to play football in a higher league?
Welcome to the Business Lessons in Denmark podcast. Our podcast gives the answers to your business related questions that have not been answered yet or things that haven't even crossed your mind. My name is Adina Bohos and I am here with my colleague Katalin Balog. We are owners of Cool Accounts APS, a Danish accounting office. Hi Kati, did anything exciting happen last week?
Yeah, maybe that we applied for an EU grant, which resulted in that we will be able to finish a course that we do not have to pay anything for. This is the first time that we use this possibility because there are so many EU funds with the purpose of helping small businesses.
Well, then you should also help small businesses
Okay.
by telling us how to transform a sole proprietorship into an APS as we promised last time.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, great. So let's see then. Let's say that I opened a Hungarian restaurant in Copenhagen as a sole proprietorship, and now I feel as Gordon Ramsay.
As Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah,
okay. So the F words are flying around in Hell's Kitchen now.
you don't want to know.
Okay.
But in the meanwhile, I started to wonder if it wouldn't be better to have an APS that is as a limited liability company because the risk is quite high. Everything is going well now, but what if another epidemic comes along or something like that and things suddenly change? Wouldn't it be better to close my sole proprietorship and open an APS?
It's very good that you asked the question in this way because there is an important thing you have to be very careful with. When you close your sole proprietorship and open an APS, which will continue to operate the same Hungarian restaurant in the same way, then the tax agency doesn't perceive this as though you have closed your sole proprietorship, but that you have sold the value in the sole proprietorship to the APS. And the APS has received it as a gift.
Okay, so certainly a popular Hungarian restaurant could be worth a lot. I guess the value could be as much as 1 million crowns or even more.
Yeah, maybe. So it's probably not a big surprise for you when I say that when you sell your company for 1 million crowns, then you will have to pay taxes on that.
I would be surprised if you say that I don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I would like to emphasize once again that if you simply close down your sole proprietorship and then start a new APS, but it's actually doing the same thing that you have been doing until now, then it's not considered as closing, but selling your 1 million worth company to another company. And this other company, the APS, has just took over everything. The venue, the professionally equipped sparkling kitchen, the tables, the chairs, the pictures, the chef, the team of waiters, the regular guests, the website of the restaurant that one can book a table with, and so on. So all these things, if they have represented a value of 1 million, then you will have to pay taxes on that, even though you didn't get a crown for it.
Wow, that's interesting. So this is then not about closing one company and opening another one, but a sale and purchase.
Yeah.
If I think it over, it actually seems very logical.
Yeah.
And you say that I have to pay taxes on the sale, but what do I pay taxes on when I didn't actually get any money?
Yeah. The tax office will determine how much value your sole proprietorship represented. Um, and I don't know how much money would a well-established Hungarian restaurant represent? How much would it be worth? 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 millions? I don't know. They will decide. And then when they have decided, you will have to pay taxes based on the value they have determined.
Okay, and what if the tax office determines a higher value than what I think is realistic?
Yeah, well, if you don't accept their estimate or their determination, then of course you can go to court and you can try to prove that your restaurant is not, it wasn't that much worth. But how that will end, who knows?
Yeah, tax office is the same as my mother-in-law. I try to avoid any disagreements.
Okay.
So, what is the solution? How can I avoid to pay all these taxes?
Yes. The good news is that there is a solution. There is a legal procedure that was invented exactly for this situation. And it is called, if I try to translate it into English, it's called tax-free company conversion. And the essence of this procedure is precisely to convert your sole proprietorship into an APS in such a way that you do not have to pay any tax on this. Um, it's actually a natural process that when you have a company, then it will grow and develop, and it will have higher value and so on. So obviously, there must be a legal solution to convert the company into another form. So there is no need to be afraid of it, and no need to worry about it, but it has to be done in the right way. So you don't have to pay any taxes on this.
Okay, that's really good news. I was starting to get worried.
Yeah.
And how can this tax-free company transformation be done? Can you do it for me?
Unfortunately, no. A simple accountant cannot do it. You require a state licensed certified auditor and a lawyer. And the role of the auditor is to estimate the value of the sole proprietorship, which you will bring into the APS as the start capital. And the role of the lawyer is to do this legal procedure, which will end in you having a beautiful new shiny APS.
Wow. It also occurred to me, what if that particular sole proprietorship really has no value? For example, I open a sole proprietorship, but before I really start the business, I realized that I made the wrong choice. I should have opened a limited liability company, and I want to convert the sole proprietorship to this form of company. The company has no assets, no established customer
Yeah.
base, and I haven't really earned large sums with the company yet.
Yeah, there is such a case. In this case, the transformation can be done with the so-called taxable conversion or taxable transformation. I don't know how to translate it to English, but basically it means that in this case you can close down the sole proprietorship and open a new APS because the sole proprietorship has no value, or maybe has so little value that even if you pay taxes on that, it's not a big amount. But even in this case, I would suggest that you contact a certified auditor to find out or to get it confirmed if it is really the case that your sole proprietorship doesn't have any value.
Okay, however, in this case, I cannot enter the value of the sole proprietorship into the APS as start capital. So I must have the start capital,
Yeah,
40,000
yeah,
crowns,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Minimum of 40,000 crowns to start an APS. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Is there anything else I should think of?
Yeah, maybe that maybe the thing that you have to inform your customers, your business partners about this change, because it will be not only a change in the company form, but also in the nature of your responsibility. Because as a sole proprietor, you were responsible with your private assets, right? It was unlimited responsibility. But as an APS, you will only have limited responsibility. So the game changes not only for you, but also for your business partners. So the butcher that sold you the meat and the greengrocer and so on, all the other suppliers, until now they could get the money, their money from you personally, but now they will not be able to. And if you can't agree with them on this, then you will have to terminate the partnership and maybe start looking for new ones or whatever.
Okay, I see. We assume that I definitely wanted to convert my sole proprietorship into an APS, but I think it's not necessarily worth taking this step in all cases.
Yeah,
Could it be that there are situations where a sole proprietorship is actually better for someone than an APS?
yeah, absolutely. Not every business activity involves a big risk. If you, for example, I don't know if you are a consultant or an interpreter, or you have a small cleaning company, or you have a little massage salon, where you don't really, you work yourself, you don't really have a big business risk, then maybe a sole proprietorship is actually best for you. But when your company starts to grow and develop, maybe you start to have many employees, you start into bigger projects with bigger risks, then it is perhaps worth considering that an APS could be more suitable.
Okay, all right. And the usual last question. What will be the topic of the next episode?
Yeah. When a person has an APS or wants to open an APS or wants to convert his sole proprietorship into an APS, as we talked about today, one question naturally arises. And this is if the person also wants to have a holding to this APS.
Holding, what is that?
A holding is actually a money tank. It is basically a company whose only function is to have money in it and perhaps invest this money. There can be great advantages in having a holding, and we will talk about these advantages next time.
Okay, a money tank. It sounds really good. Until now, we have only had a water tank, but I think money tank would also be very good to have.
Yeah.
I can't wait for next Monday.
Yeah, well, it will be an interesting episode. So much I can say.
Okay, sounds good. So today's episode was sponsored by Cool Accounts APS. Cool Accounts APS can help with starting your company with bookkeeping and tax matters. In addition, we also provide business and financial consulting. If you like the show, then follow us and like our Facebook page. If you would like to contact us, you can do so via our website www.accounts.cool. We wish you a successful week.